I'm doing part 14, Promaster conversion, part 14, and I'm going to go over how to install the ceiling. There's been a few videos on ceilings, but they haven't really focused on exactly how they did it. I'm going to focus on the two main problem areas and tell you how I addressed it. Now, this is the front of the van right here. And what I've noticed, a lot of people have issues, how do they end their ceiling? And of course you have these ribs that go across that most people attach their, whether it's ply or plank type ceiling. And I'm going to show you how to solve the problem of ending in the front of the van, and then after that I'll tell you how I did the rear. So if you look at this, these are 2x2s going across here, and this rib up here is covered by this, and I didn't want to take this whole thing off to address this end of the where I'm going to put the planks. So what I did, and I'm going to show you how I did it. Now a lot of people do use chemical bonding, and I'm not a big fan of chemical bonding, glues and things like that. The top of your van gets really hot, especially if you're in the Southwest, and it gets really cold if you're up in the mountains. Eventually, chemical bonding is going to fail. It's going to get real cold, get real hot, get real cold, get brittle, crack, and eventually separate. Of course, you could say that about everything, but I'm more, I like the mechanical bonds, screws, and things to that effect. So if you look at this, this is how I did it. Now, if you look from a distance, you can see that there's a curvature here. And obviously if you put a straight piece of board there, you're not going to get that curvature. So what I did is I cut several pieces, 5 pieces here to maintain that curvature because I wanted that look. And I'm going to show you how I basically did that. Now if you look at these are fastened really good up here, 2 screws in each. Now there's a rib behind here, and the problem a lot of people have, just like these other ribs here, they're angled. And this angle here, this is a 2x2 that I cut down. That angle is a 60-degree angle. I guess if you held it like that, I guess, like that, and like that. So what I did is I came up here and I matched that angle, and you can see this is a little long edge right here, about 1/4 inch. So what I did is I just trimmed this part off so it would give me kind of a flush, a little more hangover, so I could attach my ceiling planks to. So this is at an angle, so you start drilling, and then you kind of turn and make sure you pilot drill these so you're not susceptible to any type of cracking or anything like that. So I dressed it like that, pre-drill those 60-degree angle, and I use these planks like this, and basically it's going to come across here, and they're actually going to go right tuck up under here, and I'll screw to these so it'll give me a nice clean finish on this type of a covering here, because it flattens out pretty nicely up against here, so it'll give me a nice clean finish. Now of course, depending upon your roof, you might have to sacrifice. Now I wanted as much headspace as possible because I'm 6 feet, and so I wanted to make sure that I'd sacrifice a little bit of insulation so I'm not always ducking or hitting my head or anything to that effect. Just remember 2x2 pre-drill, and it fits pretty flush against this rib up here to give you a nice firm adherence for your roof and your ceiling. Okay, now to the back is like right up here. Let me see if I can give you a better. So on these, this is a 2x2 again, mechanically bonded, and you have these holes here. And basically you just want to stick your fingers back in here, make sure you're not going to hit any wires, just like in the front. do a visual inspection of some of those holes, because there are some holes in the front rib too. Just make sure you stick a light up in there, because they don't have the big holes, they have the smaller ones, so you're not going to hit any wires or anything like that. Just pre-mark the wood like this. I marked where the metal was, making sure there's no wires back here. Now on this one, what I did, if you notice here, there's a sheeting here, and then the planks are going to go on top of this and screw into this going across. So on this one, I didn't cut in pieces because it really didn't matter that much back here. And what I did is, here you have to trim off a little bit, but it fits back in this cubby pretty nicely. And you kind of got to do a chamfer on the back side of this so it fits snugly up in here. And this plank will actually screw into here, and then my planks go into that like that. So, and you do that to both sides, just like that. So your plank will go up under here, and then your subboard under here, and then your planks will lay up into here, and you can screw into here and get a nice piece of meat right here. Just once again, stick your fingers back there, make sure there's no issues with screwing into anything. As far as the fan, I noticed some people, and I'll just show you that real quick how I did the fan. So I have this over here, and you see the fan without having to glue things up here, because there's nothing to adhere it to. And then your face plate will go on here really nicely, and you can just screw right into here to cover this after I put my planks up, and I'll show you that when I'm doing the finished ceiling. As far as the way I did my roof, some people, what I've done is, you got this like a sub roof, a ceiling, I guess you could say, and I don't do the whole. I don't do the entire van. As you can see, you got your condensation barrier up here. I don't do the entire van with the ply. This is only in certain sections. Over here is going to be for a cabinet above the bed, and that reason that is just to give me something to screw the cowling to as far as the ceiling trim. And I'm using the wool insulation, so I can stick that up in here and make sure I get all the crevices covered fairly nicely, and help prevent some of the condensation buildup. Now on this, when I do the ribs here, the ribs are just going to go along here. This isn't going to be any type of plywood. It's going to end right here, and then I'm going to have a piece going over here. Now, when you put your planks, obviously you need something to screw into, and I don't want to screw into the metal. I only want to screw the sub ceiling into this, and that'll go all the way across, kind of like this, if you can imagine this going all the way across this rib. Now you notice it sticks out 3 inches out here. So when I put my planks up here, I can screw into the wood. I don't have to screw into the metal. These will be screwed into the metal, as you can see where the screws are here. And then as you set your planks, and I can show you here real quick. So the planks will bridge this like this, and there'll be a plank here that's out 3 inches on each side, and you screw into that. So that's how the planks will be. So as you're looking down, you can see, you can get insulation in the middle of this section right up here, but the planks only screw into the wood. They're not screwing into this metal rib that's going across here. And each one of these will come across. Each rib will have plywood going across, and when you put your planks, and then you'll have plenty of room for insulation above your planks. So if you ever have to add lighting or anything like that, you're not pulling down your whole ceiling. You can just pull a few planks from the edge over and run any other type of electrical in the future if you would like. So that's how I address the my ceiling. And as you can see, condensation barrier. So I hope that helped you guys out on your build. And the next one will probably be the installation of the cabinet above the bed. So I hope that helped you out. Please subscribe, thumbs up if you like, and I will see you on the next one. Be safe.